Hello, I am here in Tallinn with Mattias. Mattias, can you tell a little bit about yourself?
I am Mattias. I am your student from 2012 when I visited the Netherlands via Erasmus program. And at the time I was learning environmental management in Tallinn University, and I had just gotten kind of very interested on environmental ethics. So then when my travels brought me to the Netherlands and Utrecht University, and I discovered your courses, and I asked if I could take them, and everyone said yes. So then I got in contact with you, and this kind of your courses inspired me a lot. I kind of like to think of myself as an environmental ethicist, but I'm not an ethicist perhaps by trade. Because you think of ethicist as an academician, but I don't consider myself an academician or maybe part-time or so. But yes, so this knowledge, this idea of environmental ethics, and the marriage of nature with morality, kind of appealed to me and stayed appealing to me from the very moment that I started thinking about it. Because when I've always been close to animals and close to nature in this practical sense. That my father, he's a zoologist.
Yeah.
So animals have always been very near me, and I learned to communicate with animals before I learned to speak, essentially. So this kind of nature closeness was always there, but I was looking forward, or looking for like an output, and then I found it in ethics.
But as I understand, well, you're now also teaching ethics yourself. You are part in the vegan movement here, animal rights movement in Estonia, and you are also a politician. Can you tell me about these three aspects of your life?
Yes. Well, environmental ethics is very small in Estonia, especially here in Tallinn. So there was one course that I myself took, and then the teacher who gave it, he went, I think, abroad to Finland to live. So the university, after I had finished my master's, university asked me, "Would you like to give this lecture?" And I was very very happy about it. And so I accepted, because it seemed like a challenge that I totally want to rise towards. And I had thought that I also like to I like to speak, and I have no problems with being in the center of attention. So maybe it also pet my ego there a little, that yes, I'm now going to be a lecturer. And actually, I contacted you too once they offered me, and you gracefully allowed me to use your materials in making the course, and I did learn a lot. So yeah,
But that's you as a teacher, and then, so you're a teacher, you are a politician, and animal rights activist. So
animal rights activism. All of these things kind of merge together. Because I've been looking forward to, or looking for kind of this branch of myself that I could best kind of make use of my talents or something, but I'm still looking. I'm still, like, branching out, trying to find different perspectives, different focus where I could be most effective. So the politician and the animal rights things, they were both kind of symptoms of the same process. So I was invited to the Animal Rights Conference that Lomus, the biggest advocacy group in Estonia, holds every year. And I said yes. And once it was done, their head came to me and asked, "Would you like to be a member?"
Okay.
And I said, "Yes, I would." And then I became their member.
Okay.
And now I'm here and helping them with the conference, for example.
So that's you as an animal rights activist.
And the politician thing as well. I was looking for a way in which to bring this environmental ethical thinking to the world, or or trying to make it work in our society more, and also thought that maybe politics is the way in which I could influence people. So again, the head of the party, and Estonia is very small, everyone knows each other. So the head of the party asked me,
okay,
maybe you should be our member. And I thought long and hard about it, because politics is a dirty business, and I don't like dirty games in that sense. But in the end I decided that that I'm going to do whatever, because I believe in the green party, I believe in the green ideology, whatever it is. I felt that I can do something, I can do whatever to help them in their cause.
Yeah.
So that's how I joined.
Okay. And about teaching, you teach also a course in environmental ethics. Do you also address animal ethics in that course?
Yeah, I do. It's we kind of cover it when we are talking about these intermediate green kind of ethical theories. So it's after this enlightened anthropocentrism and before ecocentrism. So I kind of regard it as a part of biocentrism.
Okay.
And yeah.
And do they also know about your own stance as an animal rights activist and politician?
Well, as I said, Estonia is very small.
Yes.
So yes, but I don't hide it. I don't hide my own views from my students, and I always ask for feedback at the end of the course. Well, they have to give it anyway, but I also ask personally. And there are a few students who say that sometimes I felt like I'm being, ideologically brainwashed. But 7 out of 10 will say that I started thinking about things that I hadn't considered at all, and so I haven't gotten like this bad negative feedback.
Oh, good. That's
but I'm still, of course, I'm still learning how to give this kind of messages and send this message to the students in an inspiring way without them feeling pressured by it.
So I'm still teaching the courses that you took, the microscope and the elephant, which is the introductory course in the bachelor, and in the master course, environmental ethics. You took them both some years ago. Do you have any advice or anything you want to say to the students so that the new students who take these courses? Looking back, you took those courses. How do you look back at those courses?
I genuinely look back at them in a very, very good way, in the sense that I had just finished the environmental ethics course in Tallinn University.
Yes.
And I don't want to say anything bad about the course in Estonia, but looking at the contrasts of how you were doing these courses or how you were approaching.
What's the contrast? I mean, the content or?
The contrast was in the sense that the Estonian version was, again, it was basically pure theory, and you're there, you make presentations, but I didn't feel like inclusive as much as when I felt with your course, and it was a huge course. It was like 60 or 70 people, but somehow you managed to kind of write feedback to everyone, and so that was very inspirational. And the essay writing, we didn't have. I think we had one essay that we had to write. You had. Well, this was a 2-month course, and I wrote 4 essays, 3 paper comments, and a final essay and an exam.
Yes.
And at first it felt, in the first class I was very worried about it, but actually it felt very, very logical, and it really worked for me, because I also like to write. So now in my course also I make the students write. And get very mixed feedback from that, because they're not very used to the idea of academic essays, but at the same time, usually after which they say that it's very refreshing and lets them know or that there is a skill that they should maybe practice a bit more.
Yeah, so I'm experimenting with education, and after you some years after that you were in the Netherlands, I also introduced the idea of a workshop, so going outside with students. And now you invited me here to the conference here in Estonia, in Tallinn, on animal rights, but he also said, oh, maybe we can do something else. And then I said, well, maybe let's do a workshop. And today we did the workshop with the people from Lomus. So can you tell something about it, to what we did and how you experienced it, and is this philosophy or not?
I think there is a lot of philosophy in what we did in this workshop format. So we went out. The weather was nasty, but it was completely not a hindrance. I think we just in Estonia we say that there's no such thing as bad weather. There's just bad clothing. So yes, the idea of being in nature and contemplating on it, and also interacting with other peoples and sharing your contemplations, is not new to me at all. But I haven't thought about this, that this could be like a methodological approach to philosophy. So in this way, it was a very innovative and refreshing idea. So yeah, I was struck at the same time with how did not I think of this before, and this is genuinely genius. So yes.
What did you like best, or what do you, can you tell something about what we did, what you liked, an aspect?
I liked the fact that we went in together and went into the nature together, and we committed together to a set of tasks, and that already this aspect of it I think is very mobilizing, really. So if there is a workshop format in a course, let's say, and it's mandatory, or even if it's not mandatory, but you decide that I'm going to go this, then you are already putting yourself, you're predispositioning yourself to start interacting with someone or with some things or with nature or your environment in a new way. So already this actually I think is the success behind this format. So in the end, the things that you do there, all the different practices like blindfolding each other and walking in the forest, and physical contact with each other, or physical contact with living objects like trees, whatever it is, or mindful listening, or kind of these circling practices. This just kind of adds to it, and it creates a window that you can use to learn about yourself. So yes, I have only positive things to say about it, and definitely going to start using this format. So because I had thought that when I go to the woods by myself, I contemplate. It always happens. Yeah. But really to think that we can use this kind of format to seriously put the practical into ethics.
Yeah, nice. So I really hope it's good to be here. It's also nice in Tallinn to see so many vegan shops, vegan restaurants. So it's really bubbling. Well, it's still small, but it's happening. So I really hope that Lomus and maybe also your students, that we can help to build a better world. And also I heard that Estonia is very competitive also with the Olympics. So let's see if it is the Netherlands or it is Estonia, which is the first vegan country in the world. Let's see.
We have our unique challenges.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Floris.
Thank you, Mattias.
Thank you.